You probably have a box of these in your fridge right now. Wraps, the healthy lunch swap. Roll it up, call it a burrito, throw it in a lunchbox, feel good about skipping the bread. But wraps are not automatically healthier than bread. They just look different rolled up. I turned over 6 wraps from 6 different Australian supermarkets, and most of them are running the same additive shortcuts as a cheap loaf, just shaped like something you'd feel better about. The most expensive store on this list did not win. The cheapest one didn't automatically lose either. There is one ingredient category that keeps showing up over and over on wrap after wrap. 6 stores tested, only 2 are actually worth putting in your trolley. Let's start with the one that's honest about being cheap. Before we get into it, here's the standard I'm judging every wrap against, because healthy is doing a lot of unearned work on this shelf. A wrap is either a real wheat product with a short, boring ingredient list, or it's a stabilized dough disc built to survive weeks in a warehouse and still look soft under supermarket lighting. The question for every single entry on this list is simple. Is this an actual bread product, or is it a shelf-stable disc wearing bread packaging? Price per wrap matters. Ingredient count matters. Whether it cracks when you fold it or stays gummy in the middle matters. And whether the word soft or fresh or artisan on the front actually matches what's printed on the back matters more than any of it. Keep that question in your head, because it's about to get uncomfortable fast, and it starts with the store most shoppers already assume they've figured out. Number 1. Aldi Bakers Life wraps. Aldi's whole reputation is built on one idea. You get what you pay for, so keep your expectations low. Shoppers walk in already braced for basic. No frills, no pretending. That's fine, until you flip the pack and expect at least a simple flour, water, salt situation for the price you're paying. Here's where it gets messier than the price tag suggests. Bakers Life wraps carry a longer list of stabilizers and preservatives than a basic wrap actually needs to exist on a shelf. Not a scandal, not a recall, just a longer ingredient list than a $2 price point would lead you to expect. That means the money you're saving isn't coming from Aldi cutting margins out of kindness. It's coming from cheaper shortcuts, standing in for real ingredients, propping up softness and shelf life with additives instead of proper dough time. You're not saving money on bread, you're saving money on fewer real ingredients and paying for shelf stability instead of the thing you thought you were buying. That's a budget brand being budget, which is at least consistent and, in a strange way, almost honest. The next one costs more money on the shelf and still cuts the exact same corners underneath the price tag. Number 2, Woolworths home brand wraps. Woolworths sells its own wraps with soft lighting, everyday fresh language, and packaging that looks like it came from a bakery counter, not a distribution warehouse 3 suburbs away. That's the trust setup, and it works, because nobody stands in the wrap aisle expecting a major supermarket's own brand to be dishonest about something this basic. The front says fresh, then you check the back and find preservatives doing a lot of the heavy lifting. The kind of ingredient lists like this often lean on to stretch shelf life well past what a genuine bakery product would ever need to survive. The shelf life dates on home brand wraps tend to run noticeably longer than anything an actual bakery would put on a shelf, sometimes weeks longer than a fresh flatbread has any business lasting. That long shelf life isn't a bonus feature you should feel good about. It's a clue about what's keeping the wrap soft and pliable for that long after it left the factory floor. That's not a bakery product. That's a chemistry product wearing bakery photography and a friendly font. At least Woolworths prices it like the budget item it actually is underneath the marketing. The next store on this list charges premium money for a very similar formula, and that's where it stops feeling fair. Number 3, Coles home brand wraps. Coles positions its own brand wraps a notch above Aldi, priced higher to signal We're the trusted supermarket, not the discount one, and shoppers generally accept that price gap without questioning it. That price gap should buy you something different on the inside. Check if it actually does, because that's the whole point of paying more in the first place. When you line the ingredient list up next to Aldi's and Woolworths, the additive and stabilizer profile looks a lot more similar than a meaningful price difference should ever allow. Same category of gums, same reliance on preservatives to hold texture, just wrapped in slightly nicer packaging with a bigger logo. You paid extra for the Coles name printed on the packet, not extra flour sitting in the dough. That's not a premium wrap. That's the same wrap wearing a bigger price tag and a more confident font. That's disappointing at supermarket prices, sitting right there on a shelf next to genuinely cheaper alternatives doing the exact same job for less money. The next one is sold in bulk, dressed up as the smart shopper's move, and it still doesn't hold up either. Number 4, Costco Australia Kirkland Signature Wraps. Kirkland Signature has built a reputation for surprising quality at bulk prices across almost every category it touches. Shoppers walk into Costco expecting the smart buy, the one item in the whole warehouse that actually beats the supermarket on both price and quality at the same time. Bulk value only works if the product survives long enough for you to realistically use it before it turns. That is the catch nobody mentions on the way to the checkout. Big pack sizes mean the wraps sit in your fridge for weeks at a time, and formulations built to survive that long in an ordinary kitchen tend to lean on the same kind of structural stabilizers everyone else on this list is using, just stretched out over a longer window. Wraps in bulk packs are also more prone to drying out at the edges, cracking down the fold line, or turning gummy and dense in the middle before you are even halfway through the stack. That bulk discount disappears completely the moment half the pack goes stale or stiff before you have had a chance to use it. Pull one from the middle of a half-used Kirkland pack a couple weeks in and you will often find edges that crack instead of fold, or a center that has gone slightly gummy instead of staying soft, the way the front of the bag promises. That is not a bargain. That is paying for volume you cannot actually use in time, which is not a bargain at all once you do the math. 4 stores down, and none of them have nailed it yet. But 2 stores actually got this right, and this is where the whole list flips. Number 5, IGA Mission Wraps. IGA gets treated like the smaller local option, the one nobody walks in expecting to outperform the 2 big supermarket giants. Nobody expects IGA to win this, and yet this is exactly where the list flips on its head. Mission brand wraps, the ones stocked through IGA stores, carry a shorter, more recognizable ingredient list than any of the home brand options sitting above them on this list. Wheat flour is doing more of the actual structural work here, instead of a long chain of gums and stabilizers propping up softness that flour alone should be providing. Fewer, simpler ingredients means less of what you're actually eating is filler and stabilizer, and more of it is genuine bread, just rolled flat and folded into a wrap shape. That's what a wrap is supposed to look like on the inside before a private label formulation team gets involved and starts cutting for shelf life instead of quality. That's one clear win. The final store on this list earns its spot for a completely different and arguably more impressive reason. Number 6, Harris Farm Markets Fresh Wraps. Harris Farm built its entire identity around fresh format grocery, not long life packaged goods stacked 3 deep for months at a time. Shoppers already walk in with higher freshness expectations here than they would at a major chain, simply because that's the whole reputation Harris Farm has spent years building. That reputation actually holds up when you check this product specifically. The wraps sold through Harris Farm carry a noticeably shorter shelf life paired with a cleaner ingredient list, closer to something an actual bakery would produce that morning, than a shelf-stable wrap engineered to survive a long supply chain and months in transit. The labeling is also more transparent about sourcing and ingredients, without the vague natural or artisan language doing the work that specific, named ingredients should be doing instead. Shorter shelf life here isn't a flaw you should worry about. It's proof that there's nothing artificial keeping the product going longer than it would naturally last on its own. You'll feel it in the texture too, a softer, slightly denser fold that behaves more like a fresh flatbread than a plastic-wrapped disc that's been sitting in a truck. That's an honest wrap, plain and simple. It just won't sit in your pantry for a month untouched, and that is genuinely the entire point of buying it. 2 out of 6 actually deserved a spot in the trolley today. The other 4 are counting on you, never turning the pack around to check. So here's the pattern, laid out plainly once you step back from all 6. Aldi kept the price honest, but quietly padded the ingredient list underneath it. Woolworths sold you freshness with soft focus photography, while leaning on preservatives to fake that same freshness for weeks longer than it should last. Coles charged extra money for a formula that barely moved the needle compared to the cheaper shelf next to it. Costco bet on bulk value that quietly falls apart before you've even finished the pack. IGA and Harris Farm did something almost boring by comparison, and that boring approach is exactly why they won. Shorter ingredient lists, less reliance on stabilizers, and none of the shelf life inflation dressed up as a selling point. That's the whole trick, laid bare on 6 different packs, sitting in 6 different stores. Fewer ingredients you can actually picture, sitting in a real kitchen, usually means less of your wrap is chemistry, and more of it is simply bread. None of this means the other 4 are illegal or dangerous or hiding some secret the way a recall would suggest. It means the front of the pack is selling you a feeling, and the ingredient list on the back is telling a slightly different, less flattering story than the photo does. Cheap doesn't automatically mean bad, and expensive doesn't automatically mean better. And that's exactly the trap most shoppers fall into, standing in that aisle. What actually matters is whether the label matches the price you're paying for it. And on 4 of these 6 shelves, it simply doesn't. This isn't only a wrap problem, and that's the part that should actually bother you. It's the same front label sells convenience, back label reveals the shortcut trick, sitting quietly in the bread aisle, the yogurt aisle, and half the package staples in a standard Australian supermarket. Once you notice it playing out in wraps, you start noticing the exact same move everywhere else you shop, and it's hard to unsee. So next time you're standing in that aisle deciding between 6 almost identical packs, don't just check the price tag first. Flip the pack over, read the ingredient list before you ever look at the number next to it. Because the same 6 brand trick that just played out with wraps is sitting 1 aisle over right now, wearing a completely different label, waiting for you to walk past it without checking.